Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to another scenario on Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today one sent in by Chaosfruit, one of my naval architects. More on that down below in the description. Burn it down. It is late World War II and Germany is desperate. They have pulled an antiquated World War I battleship out of its training role to attack the supply line between England and France. You're the Admiral in charge of a group of small interwar cruisers. Instead of calling for backup, you address your 10 ships that you will attack this rusted antique. Unfortunately, you are out of torpedoes. Your solution is to use high explosive and burn it down. So, sink a battleship, which is going to be encountered at a mere 10,000 meters, using the 10 light cruisers and hoping that I survive long enough to do enough fire damage, to do enough high explosive damage. I'm not sure if this is viable, but let's test. Okay, light cruiser. There are no real requirements on what I can and cannot do, which means that I'm not gonna make them terribly quick, because what I usually end up doing is losing control and figuring out a way to have at least some of these ships just go off and do something entirely different. Let's go with Group 3. I'm an interwar ship. I might have access to Group 4, but let's for the scenario's sake say that I don't. Some anti-flooding. Let's go with an armored citadel. Reinforced bulkheads. A slightly better propeller shaft and an auxiliary diesel engine. Induced boilers, oil. As for the rest, maybe a Generation 1 radar and stereoscopic 4. Small hydrosonic station, and that should do it. Right. So I need to burn down a battleship. The biggest guns I can fit are 7 inchers. I think in this case, Lyddite, although it has a serious flash fire chance, is my best friend. Because it has the highest flash fire chance, plus 75%. This one is substantially lower. This is 25, 15... This is a negative. High explosive, or TNT, is plus 10 and plus 25. So the plus 75 that you get from Lyddite 2 is by far the best. Now, we're going to make use of quite a lot of guns here, I think. And to make matters worse for the battleship, we're going to go with super heavy shells, which will increase the fire chance even more. Plus 22.5%. It also increases my flash fire chance. That's a bit of a downside. Because these things tend to blow up. Or at least cook off their turrets. And unfortunately there's not that much that I can do about that. Because that's the price you pay if you use Lyddite. Why is my 4 weight offset so high? Do I really need to move this thing farther back? Yeah, that's it. 0.5. There we go. I could potentially fit a few more guns. The real question is that useful? Are they going to contribute something? If they can fit at all. I'm not sure. They might add something, but I'm not sure what their fire starting capabilities are. If I can move this thing farther back, I might be able to squeeze in either a 6 or a 7-inch gun in the middle of the ship. Just one extra turret. Here. 4 weight offset is now pretty dramatic. 15.3. Pull the main tower back somewhat. 4.2, 0.8 forward, 0.7. Good enough. Put this thing slightly farther back. Okay. I think this should just about do it. We have a reload of 17 seconds on these things. So I still have 1,400 tons to armor the ship up. Of course, one can ask, is that worth it? Because at this point, 6-inch armor? Well, I don't think it's going to do that much. I can max out the armor, or just about, on this ship. That is for the parts that I feel that are useful. The deck armor, not really. Because I well, close enough. Because I probably won't be encountering any kind of, well, deck hits at all. The range is 10,000 meters. The chance that things are going to come down vertically, not great. Oh, this is also an interesting option. That would limit the firing arcs of this one. What about a couple of 6s, like that? Ah, you're just too heavy. There. This way I have a bit more firepower. That is, if I'm engaging various targets, but I'm not. I'm only engaging one. And considering that it is a battleship, even though it's an older design, I want to go with as much firepower as I can. Okay, that's another pretty brief design phase again. The Pathfinder class of light cruisers against one German battleship of an older design. What do we have? The German battleship. Packing 13-inch guns, 9 of them, and 1 triple 8-inch gun. 14 7-inch guns. Oh, that's going to be a problem. That's all the casemates. And, well, I have some armor on these guys. But I think it might not live up to 7-inch. Like, I cannot pen that, probably. Or I cannot defend against that, I'm afraid. What I might be able to do, though, is just keep my distance. Hold on. What sort of a formation are you in? You're screening for something, weren't you? You're being led by the Attentive, with the Juno, and the Dunedin. That makes very little sense. So we're going to try and burn this down. That'll only work if this thing does not have a lot of bulkheads. Because if it does have a lot of bulkheads, we simply don't have enough fire chance. Or well, no, we do have enough fire chance. I made sure of that. But the problem is that they can put the fires out faster than I can start them. We're barely making a scratch on this thing for now. Of course, missing it with virtually every shot is not helpful either. I think it has detected me. It's not firing back. That's what you get with the older design. It doesn't have the range. Well, I mean, it doesn't have the range to find me. Oh, that's amusing. What's my accuracy like? Not great. Now, if I'm trying to burn this thing down, it doesn't really matter if I try to close in. Because closing in does not really improve anything about the aspects of high explosive. From what I understand, high explosive either does damage or it does not. Range is not a factor, whereas armor piercing, if you get closer, will get a better chance to pen. Because the shell loses less speed due to air drag. So this is the Rhineland. They actually have a lot of fires going. Minimum bulkheads. Oh, wow. I really lucked out there. So far, well, ideally, of course, I would get an extensive fire, which means that so many ships, or so many ship sections are on fire, that the ship basically gives up. I don't think I can get that. Chance to pen's 8%. I do want to try what happens if I get closer and see if I can fire armor piercing at her. But she has 11.2 inches of belt armor, plus 88%. So let's say about 19 inches that I need to pen. Lyddite doesn't do that. I need a bigger gun. It's the Diomedes group. This is the Pathfinder group. Here's the Attentive group. For all intents and purposes, I would not want to be aboard this ship. Because we are burning it down. Slowly but steadily. That's your thumbnail right there. Right there. Sorry, Rhineland. Structural integrity is falling. Oh, look at the fires here. We might be overwhelming her. It's going to come at the expense of a ton of shells. Look at this! We almost have her. Structural down to 71. What? What? That took me 15 minutes. What the hell? That was the extensive fire that I was looking for. I started so many fires that the ship was burning up entirely. Let's try that again. Different AI design. I'm going to see if that was a fluke or not. Is this actually a viable tactic now? Don't do any of your screening nonsense or loose formations. I'm not really interested in formation bugs. What do we have here? 6 13-inch guns. Another double 13-inch gun. What the hell is that? Dual barrel, single barrel. For the AI, I think this is a really neat design. That's actually really well done. Ah, okay, so that's double, 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 single, single. Gotcha. And on top of that, we have another 14 7-inch casemates. Fun times. Alright, light cruisers, you know what to do. Load the high explosive. And let's see if we can torch this thing. I'm getting all sorts of Smolensk flashbacks from World of Warships. Those nasty things just burn you down from inside smoke screens. Not entirely different from what I'm doing here. And once again, it seems to catch a lot of fires. But I don't have an ID on it yet. It doesn't seem very capable of putting those fires out, though. There we go, now they have it out. Now, it's a different design of the ship, so their armor scheme is also going to be different. And that means that they might be more resistant to what I'm trying to do. Insofar as you can be resistant to high explosive spam. Now, I know that it's risky going broadside to a battleship like this, but this is the way that I can get most of my guns to fire at it. So that means the most high explosive shells hitting the ship. And thereby hopefully inflicting damage as quickly as possible. ID 93, 94... What you got there? Standard bulkheads. Armor, 13 inches. So my chance to pen it with AP is even worse. On top of that, they have a 98% bonus to armor quality instead of an 88 as they did previous. They still have some fires going, but it's not as bad. Single bottom hull, that doesn't matter that much. Standard bulkheads. Right. This group, perfectly fine. Good thing that that battleship's not accurate. Of course, when I say that, the next move that he makes is blowing up one of my ships. Fire. 4 fires. 3. There's 2. There's only 1 now. They got it under control. And another fire starts. I really didn't think that this was going to work. So I was really surprised at how quickly I was able to sink the battleship in the first attempt. And sure enough, a high explosive doesn't do a lot of damage. But if you get hit 200 times, it starts to add up. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fires at the moment. I think it's getting overwhelmed. Main towers are heavily damaged. Yep, we got her. So that works. Unexpected. Unexpected. So, lesson learned today. A high explosive cruiser spam works. You just throw a lot of 7-inch with super heavy lyddite shells at it, and you win. It's not the most beautiful way to win, but it works. Somehow. So, interesting scenario, and, well, viable, I suppose. Quick video today. I hope you guys don't mind. I am gearing up with as many videos for the next week, or well, let me rephrase. Friday I'm going away for 5 days, but I'm trying to wrap up as much content as possible to make sure that you guys don't have to go a day without content. So these 15-minute scenarios are actually a nice break for me as well, because it means I don't have to talk for an hour or so. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the high explosive spam. Interesting to finding out that it works. And I'll see you guys soon for another video.